So stop by, say hi, make a donation, and enjoy an Irish-themed treat or two while you're there. This special fundraiser and remote broadcast is made possible by Bittersweet Cafe of Farmington and Fresenius Kidney Care of Uniontown. So come on down, say top of the afternoon, support an important cause, and celebrate St. Patrick's Day with Kidneys and Killarney, March 17th from 3 to 5 p.m. at Uniontown Story Square.
Your local station, WMBS.
Good morning, and welcome to another Saturday edition of the Sportsline, being brought to you this morning by my good buddy Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out, enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150. Located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. George Von Benko with you on a pleasant Saturday morning. I know you'll be taking advantage of the nice weather and be out and about, but I hope you'll pause and pick up the phone and give us a call. Two-way sports talk, the lifeblood of any sports talk show. Love to hear from you this morning on a variety of subjects. And the telephone number, if you would like to join the conversation, simply pick up the phone and dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. That number is 724-438-4593. Once again, 724-438-4593. We do have a guest in hour number 2. We're closing in on the start of the Major League Baseball season. The Pirates opener is March 26th. The Bucco opener March 26th, and they're wrapping up Grapefruit League play. Kevin Gorman, the Pirates beat writer for the Pittsburgh Tribune Review, will join me at 11:30 for some really good baseball talk. That's coming up in hour number 2. And, of course, your phone calls leading up to that point. Two-way sports talk. Love to hear from you. So let's get to the scoreboard very quickly. In high school basketball action, in the PIAA state tournament, quarterfinals in 5A. Chartiers Valley over Greater Johnstown, 42-36. Monsignor Bonner beats Monsignor Bonner and Archbishop Pendergrass 61, Springfield 52. Upper Moreland and St. John Newman and Maria Goretti Catholic School 52, West York. Let me get this straight. It was Upper Moreland 52, St. John Newman and Maria Goretti Catholic High School 52, and West York over Moon 59-53. In the quarterfinals in 4A, Carver High School of Engineering and Sciences 68, Pittsburgh North Catholic 61, Devon Preparatory School 62, Scranton Prep 55, Lewisburg over Bishop McDivitt 60-58, Obama Academy of International Studies 53, Deer Lakes 41. In single A quarterfinal play, Elks County Catholic 58, First Christian 43, High Point Baptist Academy 50, Coventry Christian School 41, Neighborhood Academy 81, Conestoga Christian 41, and Sankofa Academy 78, York County Day 71 in overtime. In girls high school basketball, PIAA state tournament quarterfinals in 6A, Altoona 38, Cardinal O'Hara 37, Archbishop Carroll 57, Red Lion 45, Dallastown 54, Cannon McMillan 39, and Upper Dublin 51, Hazleton 42. 3A action, Greensburg Central Catholic downs Camp Hill Trinity 65-51. Holy Redeemer beats Schuylkill Haven 51-36. Hughesville 46, Dunmore 40, Shadyside Academy over Central Cambria 59-32. And in 2A, Berlin Brothers Valley 53, Wyoming Seminary 31, Bishop McCourt 56, Wilmington 38, Neshannock 61, Kennedy Catholic 56, and Southern Columbia over Mountain View by a score of 48 to 35. So that's the high school basketball action. And in the National Hockey League, the LA Kings beat the New York Islanders 3-2 in overtime. St. Louis, the Blues over the Edmonton Oilers 3-2. Turning our attention to the NBA, Detroit Pistons beat Memphis 126-110. Cleveland Cavaliers 138, Dallas 105. New York Knicks take Indiana 101-92. Toronto downs Phoenix 122-115. Houston 107, New Orleans 105. Portland Trailblazers 124, Utah 114. Minnesota beats Golden State 127-117, and the LA Clippers down the Chicago Bulls 119-108. Top 25 college basketball. Number 1, Duke over Clemson in the ACC tournament, 73-61. Number 2, Arizona on a buzzer beater over number 7, Iowa State in the Big 12 tournament, 82-80. Big 10 tournament, number 3, Michigan beats Ohio State, 71-67. SEC tourney, number 4, Florida beats Kentucky, 71-63. In the Big 12, number 5, Houston swamps number 14, Kansas. The Jayhawks go down 69-47. In the Big East tournament, number 6, UConn over Georgetown, 67-51. Big 10 tournament, UCLA downs number 8, Michigan State, 88-84. Also in the Big 10, number 23, Wisconsin beats number 9, Illinois, 91-88. In the ACC tournament, the 10th-rated Virginia Cavaliers over the Miami Hurricanes, 84-62. Back to the Big 10. 18th-rated Purdue, 74. Number 11, Nebraska, 58. In the Big East, 13th-rated St. John's beats the Pirates of Seton Hall, 78-68. SEC, Ole Miss Rebels, 80. Number 15, Alabama, 79. Also in the SEC, 17th-rated Arkansas Razorbacks beat the Oklahoma Sooners, 82-79. And also in the SEC, number 22, Vanderbilt Commodores, 71. 25th-rated Tennessee Volunteers, 68. So that is a look at the scoreboard. Turning our attention to sports obituaries, and both of these hit close to home. One of my favorites from back in the day in the old American Football League, former NFL running back Matt Snell, has died at the age of 84. In addition to his heroics in Super Bowl III, Snell is remembered for a standout rookie season, earning AFL Rookie of the Year honors and setting the Jets' single-game rushing record. In the franchise's only Super Bowl win, Snell rushed for 121 yards and scored New York's lone touchdown. Snell overcame a knee injury to play a key role in the Jets' 16-7 victory over the Baltimore Colts. Injuries marred the end of Snell's career, limiting him to 12 games over his final 3 seasons. Snell stepped away from the NFL after the 1972 season. Shortly after he left the Jets, Snell's relationship with the franchise appeared to quickly deteriorate. The 2018 book, Beyond Broadway Joe, the Super Bowl team that changed football, later provided context behind the dispute. In the book, Snell wrote that then Jets owner Sonny Werblin offered him a lifelong role with the franchise. Snell later said a miscommunication may have caused a lack of follow-through after Werblin's stake was purchased. Snell's 4,285 career rushing yards ranked fourth in Jets history. He is survived by his wife Sharon, 2 children, and a grandson. Matt Snell passing away at age 84. Boy, he was a tough player. This one hits close to home because I knew him. He was a guest on my talk show in the past. Even had him on when I was doing Duquesne basketball as a halftime guest. Noted sports commentator and author John Feinstein has died at age 69, according to the Washington Post. Feinstein graduated from Duke University and was best known for his time at the Post. He graduated and joined the Post as a night police reporter in 1977. He was inducted into the National Sports Media Association Hall of Fame in 2012. During his career, he wrote more than 40 books. Among the books was a book that I had him on the air back in the day when I was on a station in Pittsburgh, A Season on the Brink, which detailed a year in the life of then Indiana basketball coach Bob Knight and his team. The book was later adapted into an ESPN film with the same title and it aired in 2002. Feinstein died Thursday at his brother's home in McLean, Virginia. The cause of death not immediately available. He was married to his wife Christine and had 3 children. John Feinstein, winner of the Kurt Gowdy Print Media Award, he worked as a staff columnist for the Washington Post, the Sporting News, and Golf Digest. He also made appearances on various TV and radio shows, including the Golf Channel, the Jim Rome Show, and the Tony Kornheiser Show. He worked for Sirius XM's Mad Dog Sports Radio channel as a co-host alongside Bruce Murray on a show called Beyond the Brink. He had 23 books named as New York Times bestsellers, which includes his most recent book on the topic of Irish-born golfer and broadcaster David Faraday. Some of the other topics for his books included college basketball and the Army versus Navy football rivalry in 1995. John Feinstein's final column. He continued to work as a columnist for the Post and had a column published as recently as Thursday morning. The column was about Michigan State men's basketball coach Tom Izzo and how he continues to win games and have fun during a time when many of his peers are beginning to step away from their respective roles. John Feinstein, great writer, passing away at the age of 69. All right, we're going to open up the phone lines next. Your chance to get up on that soapbox and be heard. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is on the docket. Do give us a call. We have one line open. All you have to do is pick up the phone, dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line at 724-438-4593. That number again, 724-438-4593. We'll be back and go to the phone lines right after this.
It's spring, the season for prom, weddings, and the spring sale at Pat's Bridal Salon in Connellsville with bridal gowns at just $99. Assorted prom gowns are $99 and up, and discontinued groups of bridesmaids gowns just $59. Is there a special occasion in your future? Pat has racks of gowns in assorted styles and colors, ranging from size 4 and up. So hurry in for the best selection. Shop Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday until 2. Pat's Bridal Boutique, West Crawford Avenue in Connellsville.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or
Hi, come on in. How are you?
for personal, professional health care you can trust, see Dr. Paul Hardley and nurse practitioners Tara Bozek, Jessica Reckhart, and Stacy Morris, proudly serving our community for over 30 years. Need care today? Walk-ins are always welcome. For your primary care, call Dr. Paul Hartley at 724-437-1109 or visit ppcp.org. Or
Serving number 3,944.
For 35 years, Fay Penn Economic Development Council has been committed to its mission of growing Fayette County's economy and helping to bring jobs to the area. Whether you're a startup, existing, or new business in Fayette County, Fay Penn's lending team can work with you to decide if the Fay Penn Loan Fund suits your business's needs. Fay Penn's Loan Fund offers loans starting at $10,000, pending qualifications. Visit faypenn.org to learn more about financing opportunities for your business and to complete a pre-application form.
ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Hi everyone, this is Kelly Clark with Autoland Hyundai in downtown Uniontown. 724-208-5281. What makes buying your next vehicle for me worthwhile? I make it a very easy 5-step process. You look, you shop, you ask, you decide. And I listen. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai, 724-208-5281. 724-208-5281. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai. I'll make you a good deal.
If you're an athlete, you know the importance of a strong recovery. NovaCare provides several athletic training programs geared toward athletic-related injuries and collaborates with Albert Gallatin, Uniontown, Fraser, California, Jefferson Morgan, Waynesburg, West Green, and Mapletown school districts to help student athletes stay at their best. From coordinating additional specialist care to treating on-site injuries, their experts cater to your personal needs. Specialized services include concussion diagnosis and rehabilitation and treatment for sport-specific injuries. For more information on athletic training at NovaCare, visit novacare.com or contact your local office today.
This is Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Famer Coach Dick LeBeau. You're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And welcome back on board for the Sportsline. We're going to open up the phone lines now. Two-way sports talk. Love to hear from you on a variety of subjects. There's certainly an awful lot happening in the world of sports. Pitt retains Jeff Capel. A lot of people thought he would be gone, but Alan Green, the athletic director, decides to keep Capel in place, and it has certainly sparked a maelstrom on social media and on the talk shows. If you want to weigh in on that, I'd love to hear from you. Simply pick up the phone. We've got one line open here this morning. Call the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. Once again, 724-438-4593. Let's take our first phone call of the morning. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Good morning, George.
Good morning, Charles.
Yes. I wish these people, sports people, and I'm not talking about you. Let's get that straight right off the bat. I'm not talking about you. Some of these people would use their head for something more than to keep their ears apart. We got this guy, Connor Griffin. What's the next thing they're going to do? Put him in Cooperstown? And he's not even eligible to drink? Hasn't even played a inning in the major leagues. Stupid.
Well, as I've stated before, and I think you know my position, I think he needs to go back down. And maybe I'm old school. I grew up rubbing elbows with people like Chuck Tanner and Billy Verdon and people like that. And those guys have always espoused the theory that you need at least 1,000 at bats, if not a little bit more, in the minor leagues before you're ready to come up to play in the major leagues. He's only had a little over 400 at bats in the minor leagues.
1,000 at bats, though, that would be about 2 seasons, wouldn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
But
And now, that I don't want to put everybody in a cookie cutter. Some guys progress quicker than other guys.
Yeah.
Do,
But, they're saying that this fellow, I was talking to Pittsburgh Sports last night, and here's my thinking, George. If the Pirates were, some people were talking about the Pirates being a vastly improved team even before they talked about Connor Griffin. If that's the case, then let's take 34 games at the end of May. If they're 20-14, okay. I don't think if they're going to be a postseason team, that if Griffin isn't on the roster, they're going to lose their postseason opportunity because he's not on the roster. George, I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you don't know. The toughest jump to make is that from AAA to the big leagues. And I remember this, and perhaps you remember this too. Remember back in 1998, I think it was Cam Bonifay was the general manager. 19-year-old Aramis Ramirez.
Yes.
Come up. He come up, what was he, 0 for 25?
He struggled mightily, yes.
Yes. You get the point I'm making?
Well, I made the point, and I don't think I could have hammered it home any more succinctly. A few weeks back, I had one of the smartest baseball people I know on my show, a guy named Tom Holliday. And he recounted the story of his grandson, who was the #1 pick in the Major League Baseball draft. Everybody considered him a can't-miss prospect, and he was against what Baltimore did. He thought they brought him up too soon, and he struggled, and they had to send him back down. And he's still trying to gain his foot. He's hurt right now, so there's nothing you can do about that. But I think Tom laid it out pretty well. He was dead set against what they did, and it hampered the young man.
Yes. George, too many of these sports people are given to impulsiveness. Everything's got to happen right away. Right away. Baseball is a marathon, George. It's not a sprint. The Pirates should want Connor Griffin to be good for the Pirates for as long as it can be.
And I think the Pirates' top priority right now, because you still have time to do it, they still need to try and find a third baseman if they could come up with one. They still need a left-handed veteran in the back end of their rotation. There's a few things that are on their shopping list that they should be more concerned with right now. I think Donnie Kelly has a good handle on everything. He's thought all along the kid should start out at AAA.
Well, you think so. I think so. I think anyone with a good head on their shoulders does. But that's what I say. Too many people are given too much to impulsiveness. They want everything right away. And it doesn't. George, maybe you remember this. I remember Chuck Taylor saying, there's 3 things you've got to do when evaluating a young player. The first is patience. The second is patience. And the third thing, you got to be patient.
Yeah, I remember that very, very well.
Yeah, George.
Yeah.
This stuff nauseous. We want the Pirates to be as good as they can for as long as they can. you know, I mean, what is it that Sinatra said years ago? Nice and easy does it every time. That doesn't mean you have to keep Griffin down in the minor leagues for. Probably he's going to be up before the year's over, maybe before half the year's over. But golly, Ned, you don't put him in a starting lineup on opening day when he's not even old enough to drink. That's ridiculous. Well, enough about that.
Okay.
Jeff Capel. I don't know, maybe you feel the same way. Maybe I like Jeff Capel personally.
I do too. But I think that 8 years was enough.
Although they say his recruiting class.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. But, there's more to it than recruiting is a huge part of it. And he sort of stuck his foot in his own mouth earlier this year when he said we got to get better players. Well, who's the guy responsible for getting the players? It is you and your staff. He hasn't made any changes with his staff. From what I understand, they're thinking about keeping the same staff in place. I think some changes need to be played. Their defense leaves a lot to be desired. They had a team that had 3 NBA players on it and didn't make the NCAA tournament. That comes down to coaching.
Was that like Blake Stinson and?
Yeah, that comes down to coaching. As I said, personally, I like him, but I think one tournament in 8 years is not getting it done. But Alan Green made the decision. If you want to point real fingers, this goes back a long way. Scott Barnes started this whole thing with Pitt Hoops, and it's been a disaster ever since he forced Jamie Dixon out. And then adding to the woes is the woeful term of Heather White at athletic director and some of the things that she did. And, Syracuse is paying the price for her right now because she's involved in a big kerfuffle up at Syracuse over some of the things she did up there and the environment she helped create up at Syracuse. But, I understand the donors came up with the money. He had the money to jettison Capel if he wanted to. He didn't. I'm hoping that things work out, but I still think if you're going to keep him, there needs to be some changes to his staff.
Yeah, I was thinking, is it perhaps that the University of Pittsburgh did not give Capel all the money, to go out and get.
Well, they're at the bottom of the totem pole in the ACC with no money. They have to improve that. Of course, the university is up against a rock in the hard place. They don't have the money being donated and coming in that some of the other schools in the ACC do.
Yeah, but the future is much brighter for the other 2 major basketball playing teams in Pittsburgh, Bobby Moe and Duquesne.
Well, Bobby Moe has got to face the reality that I think somebody's going to come knocking on the door for their coach, Andy Toole. Yeah.
But what were they, 20-11?
Right, and lost to Detroit Mercy in the tournament. Yeah.
I'm surprised the NIT don't pick them up.
The NIT. I used to love the NIT.
Nobody's interested.
Nobody is interested in it anymore. Yeah.
Do you remember when that was a premier tournament over the NCAA?
It was. Yeah.
Remember well, I guess we were only 3 years old at the time, George. 1955 when Duquesne won it.
Right, and the NIT was much better off when they played the entire tournament at Madison Square Garden.
It had the New York audience,
Right.
The last thing I want to say going out is I just hope the Penguins can find some points on this road trip. Or what was a admirable season up to this point? might be.
Well, they're caught between a rock and a hard place right now with all these games coming like they are, and the fact that they're missing two of their top players.
I mean, I guess.
By the way, you made me think of something, and I wanted to bring it up. And since we're talking hockey, the NHL, once again, acting like a garage league. Radko Gudas, who took out Sidney Crosby in the Olympics, now takes out one of the top players in hockey with an egregious knee-to-knee hit, knocking out Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs, one of the best players in hockey for the entire season. This is like the fourth time he's done something egregious like this, but two players within a month who are headliners in the league, and he only gets 5 games? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the NHL's had a lot of trouble. They don't discipline enough.
There should be talk about him being banned for the entire year.
Several years ago, was it Pierre Turgeon or somebody did it to Turgeon, and they got 21 games, got a quarter of a season.
Well, if you recall, Matt Cook had a very lengthy suspension when he played for the Penguins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that the Cam Neely?
Well, I think it was, but I remember it very well because it was a lengthy suspension, and this guy takes out two of the marquee players in the entire sport, and they give him 5 games with his track record and history. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Well, that's what Malkin got 5.
Yeah, and what Malkin did was wrong. But what Radko Gudas did, if you look at it, he stuck that knee out. He knew exactly what he was doing.
I didn't see but no wonder why the NHL is a level below, the NBA or the NFL. They just you're supposed to protect your marquee players, and they don't.
Well, the great one said it best. He called it a garage league, Mario Lemieux, and he was right.
Right? Yeah. Now, George, do you remember what Adam Graves got way back in 1990?
I don't remember the term. That's when he slashed Lemieux.
When he broke Mario Lemieux's arm at the Garden in New York.
Yeah. I'd have to look it up. But I just when I heard 5 games, I just this guy has had a horrendous track record in the past.
Yeah, George, and that's so sad because the NHL is a good sport. It's good, It's a good, hockey's a good sport, but they need some more, gumption as to who's going to decide what. They can't let this stuff go on. Last thing I want to ask, did Matt Snow play at Ohio State?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
I remember watch Kurt Gowdy and Paul Christman and, back in those days. Well, George, my time's up, so thanks.
All right.
See you next week.
Take care. Bye-bye. And let's move on to take another call here on the Sports Line, our second of the day. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line. Hello.
Hi, George.
Yes.
George, I have to disagree with Chuck. Here's about Connor Griffin. Here's my reasoning.
You're disagreeing with me, too, so remember that.
Okay, I'm disagreeing with you, too. I don't think there's going to be a 2027 season. Okay? So
no, that's okay. You can still bring him up later, but not now. I don't think you should start the season. I agree with Kelly.
Well, I know they're not going to do it. I know they're not going to do it. But you remember now. I'm coming from the opinion of probably you're not a miracle opinion, and I'm going to tie this together real quickly. You remember when the 3 years they made the playoffs, they always lost to the Cardinals. The Cardinals always beat them out for the division. And there were times they lost by 1 game. 98 wins, and they can't win the division. So these early games that Connor Griffin's not going to play in, first month or two, I know he may not be ready, but he still probably is better than Jared Triola or some other of these bums they might have playing instead of him. And it could cost them, 1 game could cost them the division.
Well, you're looking at it that way. I'm looking at it long term. He's 19 years old. Look what the Orioles did to Jackson Holliday. I had Tom Holliday on the show 2 weeks ago, and he was dead set against them bringing him up that soon, and he struggled. And, that is a risk that you run with a young player. And Jackson Holliday was the number 1 pick in all of baseball.
So what happens, okay, let's say he starts the season with the Pirates. It's terrible. They send him down. Do you think his career's gone? He's done?
No, but I think you set him back a little bit mentally.
Well, they're not going to have a season in 27, so I don't think it's going to be a big deal if that happens. But the Pirates aren't going to do it. But here's the reason I'm tying everything in. Do you believe in 1980 the USA hockey team winning that medal was a miracle?
Well, against the competition, that was the greatest team in the world they beat,
So this season here, let's say come November, somehow, someway, the Pirates have won the World Series. Would you call that a miracle?
At this particular point, with some of the holes they have in their lineup, I think it would be, I'll be happy if they make the playoffs. I'm not even thinking about a World Series. I'd be happy if they made the playoffs. I'd be happy if they improved on their record from last year.
Okay, I know this what I'm about to say is going to be crazy. Okay, but do you believe in history repeating itself?
They're 2 different situations, and that was a tournament. We're playing. What did Charles say? Chuck Tanner used to tell me it all the time. This is a marathon. It is not a sprint. There are different ways that happen. You're only playing so many games in that round-robin tournament for hockey. You're playing a 162-game season. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. There are 2 different equations there.
Okay. Yeah. Here's how I'm tying everything in. 1960. February of 1960, the USA men's hockey team won the gold medal. 8 months later, the Pittsburgh Pirates won the World Series. 1979, the Pirates win the World Series in October of 1979. 4 months later, USA wins the hockey gold.
Well,
so here we are.
You're really reaching there with those analogies.
Well, I'm saying the USA has won the gold 3 times in hockey. All 3 times the 2 times previously has happened, the Pirates have won the World Series within a calendar year of that time.
You really think this Pirate team, as it's constructed, can win? Have you been watching these other teams and what they might not even get out of their own division with what the Cubs did this year?
I know that. That's why I'm calling it a miracle. It would be a miracle for them to win.
But I don't want you to do anything with one of the top prospects in baseball. Let him develop naturally the way he's only had 400 at-bats in the minor leagues. That's it.
So what do you think's going to happen with the Pirates?
It took Willie McCovey 7 years to get to the major leagues.
I know that. I'm saying in the next 5 years, what do you think what's going to happen with the Pirates? And I'm assuming, now, I don't know if you're thinking the same way.
Well, one of the things that's going to happen is Paul Skeens will probably be gone is one of the things off the top of my head.
Yeah. That's why the only reason I'm saying this is now Griffin will be here, so it doesn't matter. And the Pirates are going to keep him in the minors to start. So that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying, I'm hoping for a miracle, and I'm hoping maybe they can get off to a good start without him in the lineup. I don't know. It's possible. We'll see.
All right.
But I'm just trying to tie everything together for I'm just trying to have some hope because there's not going to be a season in 27, so we're going to have to wait till 28.
Well, and let's hope if they do go through the pain of not having a season in 27, that they do things right and do something to improve the situation in Major League Baseball, which is a mess.
Yeah, get a salary floor at least.
At the very least, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, George.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. And I want to get a break in. We'll be back with more here on the Sports Line right after this.
Wind, hail, sudden leaks. When your roof takes a beating, we're here for you at AR Roofing and Remodeling. We're a locally and veteran-owned contractor available 24/7 for repairs. As an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, we get the job done right. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate.
AR Roofing, never settle.
You may have noticed a new internet company knocking at your door with claims like, "I'm not here to sell you anything," or "I wouldn't lie to you." The truth is, Armstrong has played an important role in your community for decades, and we're not going anywhere. That new internet provider will probably change their name, get bought out by another company, or fold completely. Armstrong, the internet you count on, the people you trust. Visit ArmstrongOneWire.com today or anytime in the future.
Fallen in love with a house? Head over heels for a home plan? Take the plunge. Apply for a mortgage loan with First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Feeling commitment shy? Complete a mortgage pre-qualification. It's simple. 100% online, and you'll get a personalized answer within 1 business day. Then save the date for a move-in day or groundbreaking and put a key ring on it. Apply online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729.
Unlock the energy at Live Casino Pittsburgh during the Spring ZDX giveaway. Play daily to earn entries toward our giveaway drawings on March 27th and 28th, where you could win a share of over $55,000 in prizes, or race away in a new 2026 Acura ZDX all-wheel drive EV. Get charged up for the Acura ZDX giveaway on March 27th and 28th, only at Live Casino Pittsburgh. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Chris Parker Jr., it's spring, and everything's turning green.
Here at Autoland, our customers are saving green during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and 0% financing.
I'm listening.
Get 0% financing for up to 60 months on a new 2026 Santa Fe with standard third-row seating or up to $3,500 HMF bonus cash. The 2026 all-wheel drive Tucson also has 0% financing for up to 60 months or HMF lease cash up to $5,500. Just see us for detail and ask about no payments due for 90 days.
Can you tell me more about your leasing specials?
We have great lease event specials going on now, such as a 26 Kona SE crossover for $219 per month and a 26 Elantra SE with amazing fuel economy for $199 per month. Just see us for details.
Plus Hyundai Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection, 5-year unlimited miles roadside assistance. Autoland Hyundai, 25 East Fayette Street, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website, AutolandHyundai.com.
And remember, you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Looking for a great place to eat in Uniontown? Stop by Casey's Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue and proudly owned by the Vernon family. Casey's is open Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday through Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come check out their new items and delicious entrees. And remember, Casey's can cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126.
WMBS.
Hi, this is Pat Narduzzi from the University of Pittsburgh, and you're listening to The Sports Line with George Von Benko on WMBS.
Moving down the home stretch here in hour number 1 of the Sports Line, back to the phone lines we go. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Hi, George. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Great. Good weather coming, hopefully. A little bit of bad in between, but I'll take it. Spring's coming on. Now, George, my subject today is this World Baseball Classic. This manager they got, I just don't know how he don't understand rules. I mean, first of all, George, he's a TV baseball announcer to me. Didn't no other managers wanted to take this job for this team. I'm just asking that.
That I don't know. I don't know what the selection process was like. He had been manager before the last time they were in the World Baseball Classic. No, I mean, they were very lucky to get in. And, you know, you could tell that something was wrong. They needed to win that game against Italy. And look at the lineup he put out there. And he's saying he wanted to get some guys some at-bats. No, if it's a game you need to win, you go with your best.
All right. I mean, I don't know how he could have started. Was a lock right there.
Well, and when he said that, where was everybody else around him?
I mean, that's
where were his coaches? Where were the administrators for the team? Where were the announcers? And somebody had to know the rules.
I mean, he has a good coaching staff with Pettit's on it, and I mean, I just couldn't understand why they because when that quote was made, and I'm wondering why in the heck did they have this? I guess a second team out there. I said, this Italy team, I guess he took it as a farce right there. And I tell you what, this Italy team wasn't a bad baseball team.
No,
you know?
They've got a very good club, and I just love their manager. I always did back when he was with the Pirates. One of my favorite guys, Francisco Cervelli, is doing a great job.
Well, George, I'm a USA guy, but since I see this Italian team right there, I could just change my allegiance because I like what Cervelli's doing with this team right there. They're playing good ball, and, you know, I mean, I would same with the United States now. Other than Webb pitched last night, Scoobles went back to the Detroit camp. I think I don't really have, other than Schemes and Webb, I don't have too much faith in the United States pitching staff. I mean, if it comes down to be, you know, into the later innings and all that, because playing the Dominican Republic, hey, that could be an out game for them too. Because hey, you're putting
the Dominican Republic is loaded. They are, yeah.
I mean, this could be like a, you know, I mean, this could be an elimination game for the team. So, when are they playing, George? Is that tomorrow or?
I believe it's tomorrow. I didn't really look at the schedule. I watched the game last night against. Was it last night in Canada?
Yeah, it was
last night. Yeah. Let me see if I got it on here.
Because I know Italy's playing today. The two other, I think,
the two games today are Puerto Rico and Italy, which is going to be a good game at 3 p.m.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then Venezuela and Japan, and that game is at 9 o'clock tonight, and that's going to be a good game. Yeah.
Oh, I think so too. Well, George, my second subject here before my time, I don't know what Pitt went with signing cable. I just don't know. I don't understand that. Unless they're banking on these recruits to come in for next year.
Well, I think that's part of it. But listen, that could change too. They're committed, but they're not signed yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the way things work in college basketball right now. Somebody could come at them with a better offer, and that could very easily happen. Right now it all boils down to the money you're spending, and he's got to retain some of these guys from the current team. But you know, let's face it, he had 3 NBA players on the team a couple years ago, and they didn't make the tournament. To me, that boils down to coaching.
Right. I just don't think he's the right fit for that program. Now, I'd say maybe my choice, I don't know if he's still coaching ball yet, if they would have talked to him, was Archie Miller. I don't know if he's coaching ball yet in any form or way.
Isn't Archie, well, I'm going to have to look it up. Archie, I think, is at Rhode Island.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I'm gonna have to double check that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I tell you what, a guy I think's doing a good job too. I mean, look what he's doing with Robert Morris is O2. Look at O'Toole. Look what he's doing with that program right there.
It's Andy Toole. 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 Andy Toole. Yeah.
I'm just, look what he did with that team there. They lost all their players but one last year. And they're competing. They should be in a championship game, shouldn't they?
Well, they got beat. They got beat already.
Detroit, they got beat. Okay.
Detroit Mercy beat them. Yeah.
But even too, George, he does a good job with that. I just don't. I mean, I don't know where they could go.
Well, the die is cast right now. They've kept him, but are you going to keep the same staff that he's had in place all this time when you only made one tournament? I think they need to shake up things a little bit if they're going to keep him. And the thing that they really need to improve is his attention to defense. They're not a good defensive team.
Well, even too, like I say, you don't know what team is going to show up. One night they shoot, one night they don't shoot, they don't play defense. I mean, it's just a one-sided team they got right there. And I'm just going back to the glory days right there. When
it's been a while since we've seen the glory days. It really has. Hey, listen, I appreciate your call. I'm up against the news. You take care.
Okay, I'll talk to you next week. Have a good week, George.
You take care. Bye-bye. And that wraps up hour number one of the Sports Line. Another full hour of sports talk is coming your way after the latest news, so keep it right where it is on your dial. The Sports Line is being brought to you this morning by my good friend Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow. Now under new management, come on out. Enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. The news is coming up next. It comes your way from the CBS Radio Network, right here on your local station, 590 AM and 101.1 FM, WMBS, Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
Listen, Keys, there's been a barrage of strikes overnight as the U.S. intensifies its attacks on Iran as 2,500 more Marines are headed to the Middle East. The BBC's Danny Eberhardt.
U.S. Central Command has published declassified video footage filmed at altitude at night, which shows multiple powerful explosions. Places hit include an airstrip. The U.S. military says the strikes destroyed naval mine storage facilities, missile storage bunkers and other targets, while preserving oil infrastructure there. A semi-official Iranian news agency, MER, has confirmed that oil facilities were not hit, but it said the strikes had not achieved the United States' strategic goals.
There's more information now about the 6 who died when a military refueling plane crashed during the war on Iran. Cheryl Simmons' son, Tech Sergeant Tyler Simmons, was one of 3 service members from Ohio who died.
He was truly an amazing man. And to do the job as an air refueler is a special person. You have to be kind of smart to do that.
A federal judge quashed a pair of grand jury subpoenas against Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, calling them a pretext to pressure Powell into quitting. CBS's Willie James Inman reports.
In his order, Boasberg pointed to at least 100 statements by President Trump or administration officials attacking Powell. The president has often sparred with Powell and has criticized the Fed chairman for not quickly slashing interest rates.
Too late. I call him Too Late Powell because he's always too late. She's like just a stupid person.
North Korea test-fired ballistic missiles after warning the U.S. and South Korea against holding a joint military exercise this week. Alex Jensen with more.
South Korea detected around 10 ballistic missiles launched by North Korea in defiance of UN Security Council resolutions, as the North may also be keen to put on a show of strength after witnessing and criticizing recent U.S. operations targeting the leadership of Venezuela and Iran.
Now to Hawaii, where it's been busy for rescue workers as storm system pounds Honolulu. KGMG TV reporter Lynn Kakano.
Mud and heavy rain made it difficult for 4 people trying to climb their way to safety where Manoa and Palolo streams meet in Mo'iliili. They were able to climb out using an HFD ladder. It wasn't just water rescues. EMS found people passed out at a bus stop in Chinatown, exposed to the elements.
There have been flash flood warnings across multiple islands and road closures due to high water. There are evacuations in some areas. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Breakers are running into high travel prices this year.
Based on travel booking data, AAA finds that flights to spring break domestic hotspots are 2% more expensive than last year, averaging about $815 for round-trip tickets. Many are flocking to Florida, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Tampa are among the top 10 most popular domestic spring break destinations. Flights to the most popular Caribbean and international destinations are slightly cheaper this year compared to 2025, averaging around $1,300 round trip. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
The war in Iran is causing a spike in jet fuel prices, and carriers, including Air France, have already raised fares to compensate. United Airlines says its ticket prices will likely start to jump very quickly. Experts say the question is how much, especially on those long-haul international flights. Allison Keys, CBS News.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borch Jr.
Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in.
It's Dominic Carbone with Jessica Caringla with your 7-time President Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Truck Month is on the horizon, and we're kicking this thing off with a bang. Running all the way to the end of March, and we're talking massive savings.
How massive?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Take up to $8,000 off select F-150s or $6,000 off with interest rates at 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and only 4.9 for 84 months.
And that's not all. We got deals on Super Duties, Mavericks, and Rangers. Just stop, click, or call for details. Here at Ford of Uniontown, our commitment is to make sure you have the best experience, not only buying a vehicle, but getting it serviced as well. That's why we offer online maintenance appointments and free pickup and delivery.
Your truck knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee. 724-425-5980 or FordofUniontown.com.
Price excludes taxes and transfer fees, must finance with Ford credit, and not all buyers will qualify.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Don't rely on luck when it comes to your tax return. Hot days are on the way. Time to swap out that old air conditioner and stay cool all season long. Turning your tax return into an HVAC upgrade is a very smart move. As we spring ahead into summer heat, don't let your tax return sit idle. Invest in a home comfort system and enjoy comfort and savings for years to come. Our partnership with Amana means you can enjoy top-of-the-line quality and unbeatable efficiency. Not yet ready to replace? Remember to schedule a clean and tune-up for efficiency and longevity. Don't forget about those dirty ducts. Easy Air Professional Duct Cleaning will get the job done right with improved air quality and energy savings. Contact us today at 724-438-4575 for a free consultation to maximize your tax return, then enjoy a comfortable, healthy, and cool spring and summer.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Spring flowers are right around the corner, and so is prom season at Patty's Bridal. We have a prom sale you won't want to miss. All prom dresses are 50% off. That's right, not 10 or 20%, 50%. Every single prom dress at Patty's, located at the Uniontown Mall, is marked down now. Don't wait, as they will go fast. Find the dress that will make your prom night magical at Patty's Bridal, open daily from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. or call at 724-439-1168.
Warm weather means you'll be spending more time outside. So enjoy your deck or patio with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturer and customers guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Call Lifetime Awnings 724-554-6067 or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Your local station, WMBS.
Welcome back on board for hour number 2 of the Sportsline, being brought to you this morning by my good friend Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out. Enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. George Von Benko with you as we forge ahead into our second hour here on the Sportsline. We continue in the open line mode. Whatever you would like to talk about pertaining to the world of sports, we'll talk about it. Simply pick up the phone, dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. Once again, that number is 724-438-4593. Certainly an awful lot to discuss. Pitt retaining Jeff Capel as the head basketball coach. It has created a maelstrom of controversy on social media and on the sports talk shows in the area. I'd be interested in your thoughts on athletic director Alan Green keeping Capel as head coach and what you think the Panthers should do moving forward with their men's basketball program. Spring training winding down. We've had a little Bucko talk. The World Baseball Classic underway. Some great baseball if you want to talk about that. Steelers offseason. The free agents that were signed, some of them met with the media yesterday in Pittsburgh. I was interested in what Michael Pittman, the wide receiver, had to say about being a good fit. He likes the fit with the Steelers. Your thoughts on that? Of course, we are closing in on Selection Sunday. Big weekend in basketball as the conference finals are being played. Selection Sunday, 68-team NCAA tournament will be announced on Sunday. Those are just some of the subjects you can delve into. So do come ahead with your questions and your comments. You may have something else completely different in mind. Love to hear from you. Pick up the phone. Give us a call on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. If you had problems getting through in hour number 1, you should have no problems right now. I am gazing at a wide open board. Telephone number again, 724-438-4593. 724-438-4593. That is the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. So do come ahead with your questions and comments. Love to hear from you. I mentioned it is a big, big day in college basketball. Tournament finals, some semifinals being played today. Selection Sunday tomorrow when they will reveal the 68-team field for the NCAA tournament. They also, later on in the day, reveal the 68-team field for the women's NCAA tournament. But some of the games to keep an eye on today, and I'll be camped out in front of the TV set. At 8:30 tonight, the ACC Championship. Number 10, Virginia. Number 1, Duke going at it. 6 p.m. today, we have the Big 12 Championship. Great matchup. Number 5, Houston Cougars. Number 2, Arizona Wildcats for the Big 12 Championship. Big 10 semifinal. One of the games is number 23, Wisconsin, facing number 3, Michigan. That's a 1 o'clock tip. Remember, Wisconsin handed Michigan one of their 2 defeats this season. The other Big 10 semifinal is number 18, Purdue, and UCLA. That is a 3:30 tip, Big 10 semifinal. A game I am definitely going to be watching tonight at 6:30. Unfortunately, it's going to overlap with the Big 12 championship game, so I'll have to be switching back and forth. But at 6:30, the tip-off at Madison Square Garden, always entertaining. Dan Hurley, number 6, UConn Huskies, facing Rick Pitino. And number 13, St. John's. Those 2 teams, when they get together, they go at it tooth and nail. I will be watching that game with much, much interest. In the SEC, one of the semifinals, number 22, Vanderbilt, number 4, Florida Gators. That's a 1 p.m. tip-off. Keep an eye on the Florida Gators. With that tremendous front line that they've got, Florida is playing some outstanding basketball right now. The other semifinal in the Southeastern Conference is a 3:30 tip. Chris Beard's Ole Miss Rebels taking on John Calipari's 17th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. That's the lineup of games today. So I'll be camped out in front of the TV set watching some great college basketball today. I'm sure you will too. Our lines are open. Don't leave me hanging, folks. Two-way sports talk, the lifeblood of any sports talk show. We had a lot of talk about whether Connor Griffin should start the season for the Pirates or they should send him to the minor leagues. We're going to get into that in detail at 11:30 when I'm joined by Kevin Gorman, the Pirates beat writer for the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review. We also had World Baseball Classic talk about Pitt retaining Jeff Capel. Whatever you want to get into, we'll get into it. Simply pick up the phone and dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. Let's go to the phone line. Let's take our first phone call here in hour number 2. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Morning, George.
Good morning. How are you?
Okay. Hey, George, could you tell me if some of the few players that the Steelers picked up, could you tell me something about them? Because I've never heard of any of them.
Ha! Michael Pittman is one of the top wide receivers in pro football.
I've heard of him, George.
He was on the Colts, and they got him, and he'll be the
right. I know he's good, but anyway, all the other ones they picked up like this week, I've never heard of any of those guys. Could you tell me something about any of those?
Well, the guy. Let me find my notes here, and I'll. How come I can't get that to come up? Wouldn't you know, your phone tells you when you want it to work. All right, let me see. All right. Jamel Dean was an outside cornerback. He was with Tampa Bay. He had been a starter down there, regarded as an outstanding defensive back.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
His name is what? Dean?
Jamel Dean. And they signed him.
Jamel Dean. Okay. He's an outside cornerback?
Cornerback. They signed him to a 3-year deal.
You say he's pretty good?
He is. He was a starter in Tampa Bay over the past couple of years and has played very well for them.
That sounds good.
They picked up a free safety who played for the Bears, had 98 tackles last year and 3 interceptions. And he is a Pittsburgh kid, played at Penn State, but he's originally from Gateway High School in Pittsburgh.
Okay, yeah, somebody local. What's his name?
Jaquan Brisker. Now, an interesting note on Jaquan Brisker is his grandfather played for the Pittsburgh Condors.
Okay, basketball.
And John Brisker, who later was killed in Uganda fighting as a mercenary. He was the heavyweight. They regarded him as the heavyweight champion of the ABA. He was a tough customer. That was his grandfather. And they picked up a backup safety from the Packers who's going to be very, very helpful in the secondary. Darnell Savage coming over for a 1-year deal from the Packers.
Savage, okay, from the Packers, okay.
Right. They got a defensive lineman, Joseph from Tennessee, signed him yesterday. He gives them defensive line help and depth. Those are some of the names off the top of my head.
Did they lose anybody from the offensive line?
Yes, they lost Ciamalo. He went to the Cardinals. Isaac Ciamalo, the guard.
Isaac Ciamalo.
Yes, he went to the Cardinals.
Okay, he went to the Cardinals. Okay. Did they get anybody to replace him?
Not yet. They're still trying.
Draft.
Well, draft, awesome. I think, is definitely a possibility, but there's still a couple of free agents out there who are guards that they want to sign. They did sign Driscoll. He's an offensive lineman, but he's merely going to be depth, I believe.
Driscoll.
John Driscoll used to be with them. He was with the Eagles last year.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Rico Dowdle. Rico,
what's his last name?
D-O-W-D-E-L. Dowdle. Rico Dowdle. He played
Rico Dowdle?
Yes, he played for Carolina. He used to play for Dallas. He's going to replace Kenny Gainwell. They lost Kenny Gainwell to Tampa Bay.
Right. I didn't think that was going to happen, but I guess they offered him more money, right?
This guy, they signed Dowdle for $2 million less than Gainwell got. But he played for McCarthy in Dallas.
Right.
And he's had
That's what I heard.
He's had 2 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons. So
I couldn't believe that when I heard it because I never heard of the guy, and they said 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons. I said I never heard of him. He must be pretty good then.
Well, he's a very different type of player than Gainwell. This guy is a power runner. He's a big.
Now, is he a young fellow or an older guy?
He's a little younger than Gainwell, just a little bit.
Younger than Gainwell.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, George.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for the call. Take care.
Bye. Bye-bye.
And that frees up both of our phone lines. Do come ahead with your questions here on the Sportsline. Call the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. 724-438-4593. Let's go back to the phone lines. Take another call. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Good morning, George.
Good morning.
Yeah, I thought I flew up the airways a little bit. This is Mark calling.
Yes. How are things in Republic?
Oh, good, bright, sunshiny day. A little bit of storm damage, though. Well, not my house, but some of the people who was on their roofs.
We had some wind. We really did.
Yeah.
And we're not out of the woods there. There's supposed to be more wind coming this weekend.
Oh, my. Oh, Lord. I hope not. I guess, hey, another good player for the Steelers. We couldn't keep Gainwell, I see.
Well, I figured they were going to lose him, but I really like the pickup. Rico Dowdle is a very serviceable back. He played for McCarthy in Dallas. He played last year in Carolina. He's had 2 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Much different type of player. This guy is a big back. He's a power runner.
Oh, well, good. Okay, good. He's like I say, he's a lot bigger than our Mr. Warren. He's good. He's a good back.
No, he's bigger than Warren, but Warren runs a little bit like him. They both are power type runners. I think Warren's a little bit quicker, but I thought that was a very nice pickup in lieu of losing Gainwell.
Okay. Hey, George, that player that died for the Jets,
Matt Snell.
Okay. Now, I remember, George, when I was a kid, when the Jets won the
69 Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, but I remember you just go to some of these little mom and pop stores, where they sold newspapers, and some of them had this big, like a large. I must have got it, somewhere. I guess they gave it to him. Of Joe Namath, he's going to throw a pass, and there's like a running back gets down looking up at him, and they're about to get Namath. That wasn't him, was it? Or was that Emerson Boozer?
Well,
do you remember that?
I'm not sure. I'd have to see it. Snell, do you remember the number of the guy that was? Matt Snell was 41. Emerson Boozer was 23.
Okay, I can't remember the number, but I remember that photograph. It was in a lot of these little stores. They had this big poster up, and there was after that Jets won it, and there's Namath. And it's taken directly from the back, and he's being rushed.
Well, I had a lot of Matt Snell football cards.
Yeah, I just
and
don't remember.
And Benny Snell, who was a running back for the Steelers for a little bit, was related to Matt Snell. That was his uncle.
Oh, yeah, it's a little bit of a bloodline there, George.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. One last thing. What? They play baseball in Italy?
Most of these guys are from the United States of Italian descent. A couple of guys are from Italy legitimately, but most of them are guys that were born in the United States. A lot of them playing in the minor leagues, some in the major leagues, but they're of Italian descent.
I was wondering. I thought Bocce was their game.
Well, actually, don't tell the Azzurri that. That's what they call their soccer team.
Oh.
They're very proud of their national soccer team.
Well, that figures. Yeah. Okay, Drew, that's all I got for today.
All right. Thank you for the phone call. You take care.
Bye-bye.
And we're going to get a break in, and when we come back, we're going to get into Pirates baseball talk with one of the best, my good friend Kevin Gorman, Pirates beat writer for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. He will be coming your way next here on the Sports Line. We'll talk to him about the Connor Griffin situation and some of the other position battles. March 26th is opening day for the Pirates. It is coming up. So get ready because baseball season is upon us, and we'll delve into the Pittsburgh Pirates in depth. That's coming up next with Kevin Gorman of the Pittsburgh Tribune Review right after this timeout.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or
Hi, come on in. How are you?
for personal, professional health care you can trust. See Dr. Paul Hardley and nurse practitioners Tara Bozek, Jessica Reckhart, and Stacy Morris, proudly serving our community for over 30 years. Need care today? Walk-ins are always welcome. For your primary care, call Dr. Paul Hartley at 724-437-1109 or visit ppcp.org. Or
serving number 3,940.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Chris Parker Jr., it's spring and everything's turning green.
Here at Autoland, our customers are saving green during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and 0% financing.
I'm listening.
Get 0% financing for up to 60 months on a new 2026 Santa Fe with standard third-row seating or up to $3,500 HMF bonus cash. The 2026 all-wheel drive Tucson also has 0% financing for up to 60 months or HMF lease cash up to $5,500. Just see us for details. And ask about no payments due for 90 days.
Can you tell me more about your leasing specials?
We have great lease event specials going on now, such as a 26 Kona SE crossover for $219 per month and a 26 Elantra SE with amazing fuel economy for $199 per month. Just see us for details.
Well, Hyundai Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection, 5-year unlimited miles roadside assistance. Autoland Hyundai, 25 East Fayette Street, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website, AutolandHyundai.com.
And remember, you'll always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
NovaCare Rehabilitation in Uniontown is accessible for all of your recovery needs. New at NovaCare is pelvic floor physical therapy, a specialized program to treat patients with pelvic floor dysfunction related to bladder, bowel, sexual function, and pregnancy postpartum. These issues can affect both women and men and include urinary frequency, urgency and incontinence, pelvic pain, constipation, IBS, menopause, painful periods, and more. Call 724-437-0556 for an appointment in Uniontown. Personalize your care with NovaCare. In 1986, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville was started with a promise to provide clients with truthful, friendly, and courteous service. It worked. With an expanded client base, the Firestone Insurance Agency's customers are now able to choose from over 20 well-known insurance companies. So whether it be auto, home, business, or life, Firestone has you covered, and the promise to provide truthful, friendly, and courteous service is still in place. As an independent insurance agency, the Firestone Insurance Agency works for you. They do the shopping for you to save you time and a bunch of needless phone calls. Because let's face it, no one loves to shop for insurance. Call the office at 724-455-3900 or visit firestoneinsurance.net. Can't make it to Normalville? Let the Firestone Insurance Agency bring service right to your kitchen table. The Firestone Insurance Agency, 724-455-3900 or firestoneinsurance.net. Doing what is right for the customer, finding the most affordable rates while making sure there are no coverage gaps so you are fully protected from the unforeseen.
Are delinquent credit cards, medical bills, and personal loans stressing you out? Are you unable to catch up? Are the debt collection calls just too much? If yes, then call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200. Zebley Law provides free in-person consultations. Then, using our decades of experience, we recommend a plan for relief. Before hiring a debt relief company or an out-of-town bankruptcy firm, call the local law firm serving Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties since 2001. Call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200. Are delinquent credit cards, medical bills, and personal loans stressing you out? Are you unable to catch up? Are the debt collection calls just too much? If yes, then call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200. Zebley Law provides free in-person consultations. Then, using our decades of experience, we recommend a plan for relief. Before hiring a debt relief company or an out-of-town bankruptcy firm, call the local law firm serving Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties since 2001. Call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200.
Well, I don't know what happened to our bumper there, but we're back here on the Sports Line. Something going wonky here. In any case, welcome back to the Sports Line. George Von Benko with you. We're going to get into some Bucko baseball talk with my good friend Kevin Gorman, Pirates beat writer for the Pittsburgh Tribune Review. Just back from Florida. I'm sure he's tanned and lean and ready to go. Ready for the baseball season, and it's creeping up on us. The Pirates open the season March 26th in New York against the Mets. Home opener is April 3rd against the Orioles. Kevin, good morning to you. Thank you very much for your time this morning. I appreciate you coming on with me.
Well, thanks for having me, George. It's always a pleasure.
Looking at the Buccos, our conversation this morning has been filled with what you wrote about in today's paper. Whether or not the number one player in the Pirates minor league system, Connor Griffin, should start the season in the big leagues at 19 years old, or whether he should start at AAA. It's a big question. I know the Pirates are mulling it over. I have my own feelings about it. You laid things out pretty well in the paper. What are you hearing, and what are your thoughts about what's going to happen with Griffin?
Well, what we're hearing from the Pirates is Ben Cherington repeatedly talking about how important Connor Griffin's development is. Not only is he the number one player in the Pirates system, he's the number one prospect in all of baseball at 19 years old. He's the consensus number one prospect, and he was the minor league player of the year last year, and also won a Gold Glove in his first full season playing shortstop. So, I mean, this is a guy who exceeded expectations for being the number 9 pick in the 2024 draft, which was a very college-heavy draft. And there's a number of guys, Kurtz for the A's, Callejon for the Royals. There's a number of guys that are already up that have made their major league debuts from that draft and are productive major leaguers. So, there's no shame in some of the people that passed on Connor Griffin for, college players who they felt were a little more major league ready. But that said, Connor Griffin is different. He's 6'4", 225 pounds. He's a 5-tool guy, and with a very humble upbringing. This is a kid who has talked about wanting to be a Hall of Famer, but also very much is concentrating on the day-to-day. But the Pirates know that his development is crucial, pivotal to their success in the future. And as much as they are kind of, going for broke in their words in terms of treating this like a playoff or bust season, that they know that they have to do right by Connor Griffin. So they've been very cautious about, is he going to stay for the entire spring? We don't know. Is he going to make the opening day roster? We're not sure yet. But it very much sounds like the Pirates have every intent on having Connor Griffin start the season in the minors, which, even the guys that are team phenoms that came up and became Major League All-Stars, Adrian Beltre is one who's now a Hall of Famer, Bryce Harper, Andrew Jones, who just was elected to the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of guys that came up, Juan Soto, that came up as 19-year-olds and made it to the majors. The last one to do it on opening day was Ken Griffey Jr., who's another Hall of Famer. So he's in some pretty select company just to be in that conversation. But I think Connor has shown everybody this spring that he's not afraid to compete against major leaguers, and that at times he can very much hold his own. Whether he's ready or not is going to be up to the Pirates. But a lot of people that I've talked to, whether it's, talent evaluators, whether it's, coaches, whether it's, teammates or opposing players, they're very impressed by what he's done this spring. Even though you can look at the numbers and kind of cherry pick numbers, you could say, wow, he has 3 home runs and 8 RBIs, which were tied for the team lead. Or you can look at it and say he had a 192 batting average going into last night's game and struck out a couple times. You can look at the numbers whichever way you want, but either way, Connor Griffin is looking like a guy who belongs, that he's not out of place on that stage.
Well, my feelings on it, and it's strictly cautionary tale. I had one of the smartest baseball people I know on my show a few weeks back, Matt Holliday's dad, Tom Holliday, and what a family the Hollidays are with Matt, his 2 boys. Jackson was the number 1 pick in the MLB draft. I believe Ethan was in the number 4 pick in last year's draft. And Tom, the grandfather, said in a cautionary way, he said, I love Connor Griffin. He's got all the tools, but I hearkened to what they did to Jackson. I was against them bringing him up when they did. They brought him up too soon. He struggled. He had some problems, and it messed him up a little bit. He said, I am concerned about that. I didn't want them to bring Jackson up that soon. I don't want them to make the same mistake with Connor. Interesting perspective from Tom.
And I think it's a smart perspective. I mean, a talent evaluator that I spoke to, and it was, it used him as an anonymous source to protect his identity, but he was of the same vein. Is hey, what happens if he fails, and what happens, if things don't go well, could that mess him up? Because sometimes when you get up there, and I'll use Austin Meadows as an example. If you remember when he came up as a rookie, and I believe he was 22 years old as a rookie for the Pirates.
He was, yeah.
Gregory Polanco was injured, and Austin Meadows in his first 2 weeks batted .400 and looked terrific. I mean, just looked like, wow, this guy's going to be a star. And the first 2 weeks batted .400. Everybody wanted them to bench Polanco and make Austin Meadows their starting right fielder. That was, the feeling. And then the next 2 weeks, Austin Meadows batted like .200 and was struggling. And I remember some of the players saying to me that Austin was coming to them saying, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And they're like, what you need to do is keep doing the same thing you did the day before and the day before and the day before that, because that's what the game is. The game is about consistency. It's about routine, and it's about doing the things your way. You don't adjust because you got outs. Sometimes you have a good at bat and you get out, and sometimes you have a bad at bat and you get a hit. That's just the game. And so you're searching for that 300, and he was riding high with 400 and riding low with 200. That to me is a concern you should have with a Connor Griffin, who's striking out a lot and not drawing any walks. Is he this talent evaluator told me that Connor appeared a little bit overmatched against some starting pitchers like Kyle Bradish and Chris Bassett, who these are established major league starting pitchers. That when he connects on a pitch, and he hit one off Ranger Suarez, the Boston Red Sox lefty, who signed a 5-year, $130 million contract, and drove one 100 plus miles an hour exit velocity out of the ballpark and over the replica Green Monster at Fenway South in Fort Myers. That was a hanging curveball. Seth Martinez, another major league reliever, he threw him an off-speed pitch, and Connor knocked that out at 111 miles an hour, and it went 440 feet. He's shown that he can hit not just fastballs, but breaking and off-speed pitches. So that's a good sign that there is some pitch recognition. But he also, is up there trying to do damage. And sometimes in the major leagues, they like to just see you have a good take. They just want to see that you're recognizing a pitch, you're recognizing the strike zone, and that you're not up there always trying to do damage. Sometimes you're up there trying to, get a good read on the pitcher. So there is room for growth with Connor Griffin. I think when you look at talent, he's clearly the most talented shortstop they have in the system, and even the major leaguers. I don't think they really have bona fide shortstops. I think Jared Triolo is probably a guy who could play the position, but they also need him at third base. Nick Gonzalez is a second baseman. Alika Williams is a good defensive shortstop, but his bat hasn't proven he can hit in the majors. So there's a hole there that he could potentially fill. But I think the Pirates, from talking to one former player who said, the pitching in the minor leagues at AAA is the best it's going to be in April, because you have guys who are major leaguers who are either coming back from an injury or just didn't make the opening day roster. You have the top 100 prospects that are on the cusp of making to the majors but need a little more time in the minors, like, say, a Bubba Chandler last year or Paul Skeens the year before that. And then you have the quad A guys that are very good AAA pitchers that are just a cut below major league level. And so he said, in April, you're going to see really good pitching. So that could benefit Connor Griffin, who only has 98 plate appearances above A ball. So
wow.
He's done well at every level, but he's had very limited, facing high level pitching, in the minors. It's mostly most of his damage was done in low A and high A.
The old timers used to tell me, guys like Chuck Tanner and people like that, and baseball has changed a little bit. When they were playing, you didn't hit the major leagues except if you were really an exceptional player, and there are exceptions to every rule. But he said most guys never sniffed the major leagues until they had 1,000 minor league at bats.
Yeah, but that can be counterproductive. I think that was the rule of thumb that the Pirates used with Andrew McCutchen. He came up at age 22 and was a budding superstar. And you almost wonder, did they leave him down a little bit too long, given how he kind of lost some of that dynamic ability that he had when he's hit 30, that you saw a guy. So, I mean, I think given the success of Bryce Harper and Juan Soto and others who came up at 19 and were impact players, I don't think you necessarily have to see 1,000 at bats. Possibly because
neither do I, and I think you can't use a cookie cutter mold, but I think he could use a little seasoning, a little bit more.
Sure,
at
and I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that.
But my question is, if they don't use him on the major league roster, who does play shortstop?
Well, I mean, there's a number of options. The talent evaluator told me that the best option for them is Jared Triolo, but then you leave a hole at third base. He's their best defensive shortstop. He's a Gold Glove winner, he's a utility guy. But then you have a problem at third base that the Pirates didn't address because they want Triolo to play there. So then the next one would be Nick Gonzalez, who is very much a stopgap solution. He's a second baseman who has less range and less of an arm than either Triolo or Griffin. But they like his bat, and they'd like to keep his bat in the lineup somehow. And then you have Alika Williams, who's had a fantastic spring. He's a great defensive player that very much impresses the Pirates with his defense. It's always been a question of his bat, but this spring he's been hitting the ball. He actually hit a home run, which is his first home run in the major leagues, whether it's in a spring game or a regular season game. And so he seems like a guy who's really confident at the plate. He could be a dark horse to maybe make the team as the utility infielder, given that he can play second, third, and short. So there's the guys if it's not Connor Griffin. But I also feel like whoever it is, they're going to be playing that position for a month and a half. And I think we'll see Connor Griffin sometime, maybe by mid-May, maybe as late as June. Although we said the same thing about Bubba Chandler. You've got to go down to that level. If you're going to play in the minors, you've got to go down there and dominate at that level. And you have to. They probably want to see him face a little bit of adversity and overcome that adversity before they bring him to the majors and have to deal with it there.
Well, I was very pleased, surprised by what the Pirates did during the offseason. I love some of the pickups. I like O'Hearn. Ozuna is a bona fide hitter, although at this point he's strictly a DH. Some of the things that I love Mangum. I like Lowe. They added some pop to the left, but they still have some glaring areas. You mentioned third base. I really wanted them to get a third baseman. Is there any chance? I mean, we still could do some things before the season starts, or is it too late in spring training for them to still maybe get a third baseman?
No, I wouldn't be surprised if the Pirates do swing a trade here, or kind of go through the waiver wire once all the cuts are made at the end of spring training. Looking for some help there. I think the concern was, do they want to add a third baseman like Paredes or Bohm or someone like that comes with a $10 million price tag? And I think the answer was no. I think it was a consideration. Maybe they were being asked, too much for in return to make that kind of a trade. But I think Triolo is fine at third base. I think defensively he's just a slight notch below Key Brian Hayes, who's considered the best defensive third baseman and one of the best defenders in the game. Offensively, he came around the last 2 months of the season, but he's got to show that consistency over the course of the season. But sure, the Pirates could make some moves. I mean, I still wouldn't be surprised if Nick Gonzalez is somebody that maybe they'd be willing to trade, given that he's not the starting second baseman and that they have, Lau there now and Tamar Johnson on the way up, another former first-round guy. I could see them, still using some of their minor league starting pitching to acquire players, because they had a former top 100 guy in Thomas Harrington who's not really in the mix for a starting spot. So he could be somebody they could use as trade bait, and they have some guys in the lower levels. But I could certainly see the Pirates making some moves. But I don't, given that O'Hearn has played strictly right field in spring training, and he has a history of playing third base, but at one point I thought maybe they'd deal a guy like Spencer Horwitz to open up first base for O'Hearn, and then open up left field for, say, Jake Mangum and maybe Justinson Garcia, who's had a fantastic spring.
Yeah,
but he's only 23 years old.
I heard Donnie Kelly talking about him. He really likes what Garcia's done.
Yeah, he's been terrific. I mean, he's looked good defensively as well. He was listed when the Pirates acquired him. He was listed at 163 pounds. He weighs 224. He's put on some muscle. He's a guy who hits, for power and for average. He's got some speed on the base pass and defensively. He's not quite a five-tool guy, but he certainly has some tools to work with, and it's been a good addition for the Pirates to go out and get him. They call him the password because his name's so, unique and unusual to spell.
All right. The guy who continues to confound the fans because he's got a multitude of talent, and sometimes he shows it, and sometimes he makes you scratch your head. If they could ever get consistency out of, who I'm going to talk about, O'Neal Cruz.
I know exactly who you're going to talk about.
If they could ever get consistency out of him, whoa, what would that do to the lineup?
There's a couple things the Pirates have done, and there's some things O'Neal Cruz has done to work toward that. One is he's worked on hitting left-handed pitching, which was, really his, the kryptonite for him, for this Superman that he can be. The other one is that he worked with Kevin Kiermaier full-time 4-time Gold Glove winner and a Platinum Glove winner, center fielder. So that's where he's working on his defense, which I think is going to be a work in progress. I think he's a guy who's a 6'7" shortstop and had some problems at that position. I think the Pirates never really wanted him to be there, but there's a ton of talent to work with. You talk about tools. He's clearly a 5-tool guy and a unique talent, given that he's 6'7" and has that power. When he connects on a ball, he just that home run he had in the World Baseball Classic for Dominican Republic was 450 feet on the second deck. I mean, that was just, everybody in the whole stadium just kind of like jaws dropped and like, oh my God, the power that he has when he connects with the ball. I think the things the Pirates did that were very good with bringing in Ozuna. You can debate whether they needed to bring in a full-time DH or they could have rotated through that position, but Ozuna has some charisma that the players, especially the Latin players, gravitate toward him in the clubhouse at Lecom Park in Bradenton. And he's got the Dominican and the Venezuelan players all in the corner speaking Spanish, laughing. I think he could have a really positive impact on O'Neal Cruz in terms of his approach to the plate and also his approach to the game and bringing his joy back. I've never seen Cruz smile so much as he did in the first week of spring training when he and Ozuna connected. And that seems to be important to Ozuna, knowing that he can be, kind of a mentor to some degree to Cruz, and also someone just kind of like help him show that the game can be fun, not to put so much pressure on himself. The other part of it is bringing in the guys you mentioned, Lau, Ozuna, and O'Hearn. That surely lengthens the lineup. And so if you have Cruz, who I think, what we've seen from him in Grapefruit League games is that he's batting leadoff. If the lineup goes Cruz, Lau, Reynolds, O'Hearn, Ozuna, your first 5 are pretty dangerous. You got some thump in that lineup now. And that's from a lineup that last year for a team that, ranked last in the majors in home runs, RBIs, slugging and OPS.
Yeah, they've definitely improved. They really have. Yeah,
they have. But I think that could bring out the best in Cruz. And I think the other thing, George, is him playing in the WBC with the Dominican. That could certainly have a really positive impact on O'Neal Cruz.
Very quickly before I let you go, because I'm running out of time, we didn't touch on pitching. The pitching is there. They've got starting pitching. The bullpen is not that bad. I think if they had their druthers, we're talking about shopping, they'd like to get a third baseman. I think they'd like to add maybe another bullpen arm, and I think they would like to add maybe a veteran left-hander to the back of the starting rotation. Does that sound
that's a possibility?
Yeah.
That's a possibility, George. That would have to come by trade. The thing that they have in their back pocket, and right now they've got 3 guys that are kind of in the competition for the 5th spot in the starting rotation. That's Mike Clevenger, the 35-year-old veteran right-hander. Jose Urquidy, who pitched for the Astros and, has some experience not only with Don Kelly, but also the new pitching coach, Bill Murphy. And then you have Carmen Majinski, who started for them 9 games at the opening of the season, was sent to the minors, and then came back in the bullpen and did some multi-inning relieving. He's just got to show that he can get through the lineup a couple times. He's done well the first time through, but not as well the second and third times through. The thing they have in their back pocket is that they've got a top 100 pitching prospect in Hunter Barco, who's a 6'4" left-hander, and he's got a chance to be really good. He's going to probably start the season in the minors. It would be a surprise if he didn't. But I kind of feel like whoever's there, that's a little bit of a stopgap position as well. That they need some guys who can eat some innings early and can give them some solid starts. And the other thing is they have Jared Jones coming back. And so
now,
he should be back sometime around June.
I was going to ask, what is his status right now? June?
Yeah, he had instead of having Tommy John surgery, he had this internal brace, which is like a medical tape that they put on your elbow to kind of it's more for like a partial tear than a full tear. And so he was throwing live batting practice at the end of the time in Pirate City, and he's been over kind of in the minor league camp, facing hitters over there. He's on the 60-day injured list, so he's not going to be available until I think late May, and there's going to be a rehab assignment involved. I don't expect to see him until June or maybe around the All-Star break, but it wouldn't shock me if Jared came back and pitched out of the bullpen and increased his workload. But you never know. He's a very headstrong guy. He might be the type of guy that goes straight back into the starting rotation. But they do have a couple guys in their back pocket that are very talented pitchers that could help that staff. But George, this is the interesting thing about the Connor Griffin storyline and all the acquisitions that the Pirates have brought in that we talked about, that nobody really is talking about Paul Skeens.
Right.
And they might have the best pitcher in baseball, and that's, it's either Skeens or Skubal. And but they might have the best pitcher in baseball. I know he pitches for Team USA against the DR in the semifinals of the WBC. But Skeens has become the catalyst of this team. He has become a leader. He's a guy who's very much taken a leadership
Well, he had to
role.
love the acquisitions because I know he was outspoken about trying to help the club. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he told me that he's like, yeah, it's pretty cool when you go out and you look around and you got some dudes behind you. You got some all-stars behind you. Right. And they have that with Lau, O'Hearn, Ozuna. They have that with Reynolds. They have that with Mitch Keller behind him in the rotation. I think the Pirates, with Gregory Soto, the left-handed reliever they brought in, I think the Pirates have 7 all-stars on this team now.
Well, it's
7
great,
guys have been all-stars.
It's great to be talking about them like this. I'm out of time, but one question I promised somebody I would ask, and they were thinking ahead. What is the date that if you bring somebody up before that date, they count toward their service time? You know what I'm talking about.
The Super 2, there's not a date. It's not a deadline. It's a formula that takes a percentage of the number of players that come up. So it's really a moving target.
So they're going to be looking at that with Griffin too, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's this PPI incentive, where you have the prospect promotion incentive, that if you bring them up within the first 2 weeks of opening day, you could earn a draft pick if they win Rookie of the Year. And so if you don't, you hold them down like the Pirates did with Skeens, and they win Rookie of the Year. They win a year of service time. So the Pirates, that backfired on them. And they weren't bringing Skeens up to protect the Super 2. They were bringing Skeens up because they were worried about his innings count and his pitch count. So,
well,
so it's very much a different reason.
Yeah, I'm glad you explained that. Hey, guess what? That's what happens when you're in radio. I got to get a break in, and then I'm up against the news. But as always, very informative. Thank you very much for your time, and I will see you at the ballpark a little bit more this year.
I'm looking forward to it, George. It's always a pleasure to be on with you.
You take care, buddy. Right, bye-bye. Kevin Gorman of the Tribune Review. We'll wrap things up right after this.
Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in.
It's Dominic Carbone with Jessica Caringla with your 7-time President Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Truck Month is on the horizon, and we're kicking this thing off with a bang. Running all the way to the end of March, and we're talking massive savings.
How massive?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Take up to $8,000 off select F-150s or $6,000 off with interest rates at 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and only 4.9 for 84 months.
And that's not all. We got deals on Super Duties, Mavericks, and Rangers. Just stop, click, or call for details. Here at Ford of Uniontown, our commitment is to make sure you have the best experience, not only buying a vehicle, but getting it serviced as well. That's why we offer online maintenance appointments and free pickup and delivery.
Your truck knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee. 724-425-5980 or FordofUniontown.com.
Price excludes taxes and transfer fees, must finance with Ford credit, and not all buyers will qualify.
Unlock the energy at Live Casino Pittsburgh during the Spring ZDX giveaway. Play daily to earn entries toward our giveaway drawings on March 27th and 28th, where you could win a share of over $55,000 in prizes, or race away in a new 2026 Acura ZDX all-wheel drive EV. Get charged up for the Acura ZDX giveaway on March 27th and 28th, only at Live Casino Pittsburgh. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Looking for a fireplace? Koval Building Supply at 40 Monroe Avenue in Uniontown is more than your plumbing supply store. We specialize in fireplaces of all fuel types, such as gas, wood, pellet, and electric. We're now featuring Harmon pellet stoves from Forge and Flame, perfect for keeping your family warm and cozy. Call Koval today at 724-437-8824 or visit kovalsupply.com to start planning for the winter season. Koval Building Supply, everything you need to make your house feel like home.
Trust, it's the place I go. Home, warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
March brings spring and home improvement season. Planning a home improvement project with your tax refund? Home Warehouse, a best in Fayette winner for home improvements and windows, is the place to go for all your home exterior needs. Warm weather means more outdoor living. Add value to your home with a new deck. Home Warehouse has a great selection of easy-to-maintain composite decking and vinyl railing, plus siding, shutters, windows and doors, roofing shingles, metal and rubber roofing, soffit and fascia, as well as flooring. So for selection, great prices, and hometown service, see Sandy and Donnie at Home Warehouse, Connellsville Street in Uniontown. They know how to make your house a happy home. Shop Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, Saturday, 8 to noon.
Home Warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Looking for a great place to eat in Uniontown? Stop by Casey's Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue and proudly owned by the Vernon family. Casey's is open Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday through Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come check out their new items and delicious entrees. And remember, Casey's can cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126.
WMBS.
Hi, this is TJ Watt, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS Radio.
And that puts a capper on this edition of the Sports Line. But do not touch that dial. My good buddy Arnie Amber is up next with Oldies Unlimited. He has a special guest today. Duncan Farr of the Bay City Rollers will join Arnie at 1:15 on Oldies Unlimited. George Von Benko saying so long. The Sports Line has been brought to you this morning by Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out, enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. George Von Benko saying so long. The news is coming your way next from the CBS Radio Network right here on your local station, 590 AM and 101.1 FM, WMBS, Uniontown, Pennsylvania.